Now, I remember being glued to the Super Nintendo playing Killer Instinct for hours as a kid. The awesome 90s soundtrack, the over-the-top combos, and obviously the roster was killer. Then the N64 and the Xbox sequels, they did nothing but complement what was already a great roster. Now, at the time I'm making this video, nothing is confirmed for a new Killer Instinct game, but it's always fun to speculate, so I'm going to talk about what kind of new characters I would like to see if this happened. So let's get into it. So to start off this list, I want to touch on what the 2013 game brought to the table. And that was some pretty amazing reimagining of classic tropes. You know, like werewolves, mummies, vampires, and ghosts. I think. I'm still not exactly sure whatever Omen is. Then we have barbarians and ninjas, secret agents, assassins. They've put a lot of effort into reimagining these characters. We also had some guest characters, which are their own thing, and don't worry, I got some ideas for those too. So first off, let's talk about an absolute classic and probably the most iconic creature of all horror films, and that is Frankenstein's monster. You could create something akin to a reanimated creature, make a mad scientist create him to fight Ultratech, or he was a failed attempt created by Ultratech. This could have some great lore behind it. Also, we might as well bring the mad scientist as well. I mean, that's a classic trope, and he could be the father or grandfather of, whomever. It doesn't matter. I would like to see him be able to change forms through some type of serum or potion, you know, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde style, which is another classic trope. Next up, let's bring something like a Mind Flayer or something Lovecraftian. There is no lie that there is something unsettling about tentacles, and something long and retractable and, well, slimy could be great to utilize in a fighting game. We don't have any aquatic or water-based fighters, save for Rash, and he doesn't count, and we'll talk about him later. But when it comes to lore-wise, this is a walk in the park. An ancient entity returns to the surface. Is it friend or foe? Only time will tell. And just have it hate Kan-Ra for some reason. Easy as that. Another fun idea would be having a magician, dark arts user, or some type of spellcaster. For those who don't know, Harry Houdini was an actual beast. He was able to take punches like it was nothing. Well, until that last couple. Being able to kick ass and cast spells on your opponent sounds pretty sick by my standards, and having a top hat and cape would only just be icing on the top. It's kind of shocking we don't have an insectoid type creature yet. They are another classic movie trope. I mean, The Fly, Eight-Legged Freaks, and whatever this guy from Men in Black, they all come to mind first. But you could get really creative, maybe like a Hercules beetle or a praying mantis, or hell, go full cryptid and reimagine what Mothman is. And while we're speaking of cryptids, there's no way we can't talk about Bigfoot, the Yeti, Wendigo, Sasquatch, or whatever your part of the world calls them. Reimagining him or her could be super creative. I see them being a keeper of the woods or grove, something like an avatar of Mother Nature. We don't really have something like this yet, and I'm all about it. Also, I mean, I could totally go with a classic interpretation. I mean, who would not want this? I would love to add more lore to Gargos and Idol's storyline regarding the warlords. You could technically pick any type of creature or trope or whatever, but I think a demon would be really neat. An incubus or a succubus or both, maybe a brother or sister, were once former warlords and they went into hiding all those generations ago, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves to take out Gargos and Idol. Fantasy-esque characters could work as well. Orcs, goblin, elves, kobolds, gnolls, and I guess I'll throw like centaurs and minotaurs in here as well. These characters could fit rather easily into Tusk's lore. Ally or foe. Maybe the reason he's immortal is because he made some type of blood pact with one of the creatures we add. And the last one I want to chat about is the reason I made this video. It's pretty straightforward, is I want a monster hunter. No, not that one. Not that one. I mean something akin to a Grimm or a Witcher, you know, like Van Helsing or one of the Belmonts. I'm imagining wooden and silver stakes, crossbows, magic elixirs, and garlic. Also, they could be monster bounty hunters. Add an additional trope in there. Being a monster hunter, they kind of have an entire roster hunt, so lore-wise, there's plenty to work with. If we get Killer Instinct back, this is like my #1 pick. Now for guest characters, I'll only be picking characters that are under the umbrella of Microsoft, just like the original 3. Probably the most popular choice that everyone's been talking about is Joanna Dark from Perfect Dark. This would be absolutely amazing, especially with a new game in the works. Another great choice from Rare's catalog would just be a pirate from Sea of Thieves. Have a variation of different costumes, and I think this would be a great hit. I never played Hellblade, but the main protagonist, Senua, I believe that's how you say it, is another great choice. She would fit in great with the current cast of characters, and her next game is already in development. And lastly, I would love nothing more in this world than Eddie Riggs from Double Fine's Brutal Legend. He has a guitar that is an axe that shoots lightning. Brutal Legend has some of the most killer music, and that would fit in perfectly with Killer Instinct's vibe. So I'm editing it together, and I thought of this, and I'm super angry I didn't think about it earlier. We need Maximilian in the game. No lie, he did so much for the fighting game community, and if there is a game at least being talked about, it's probably thanks to Max. So, Max, I hope you get added into Killer Instinct. I mean, I would main you. But that's all I got. Do you agree with my picks? What type of characters would you like to see added if Killer Instinct gets a new game? Let me know in the comments below. For those who don't know, I stream on Twitch every Sunday. You can find my page in the links below along with all my social media tags. If you like this video today, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss a video. My name is Phil, and of course, I'll talk to you guys soon.